Welcome to the island of Snoggy. Oh, so that's what they mean by Animal Crossing. Hi everyone, this is Beverly signing on to welcome you all to another Animal Crossing video. I'm here at the resident service because I finally completed my farmcore island. Before we get into the juicy builds, let's take a look at my map. For starters, my island is uploaded as a dream address, so you can definitely tour and check it out for yourself down at the image below. This island has been through the works because I have been playing this game since March of 2020. I do not have any conventional farmcore villagers, but honestly, I kind of like it this way. I am very fond of my villagers because I've grown very attached to them. Starting off the tour, I prefer to be at the airport, but you will join me at the plaza if you use the dream address. Not to fret because they are very close. This was one of the longest and toughest decisions I had to make because there really is no space for any terraforming. I decided to block off the view by using trees and fences so the actual side entrance for the plaza is a bit more exciting. If you enjoy my Animal Crossing builds, leave a like, and if you'd like to see more cozy gaming content, go ahead and subscribe. I'm incredibly appreciative of the growth my channel has been receiving, and I couldn't have done it without all of you. I'd love to hear more from you. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. Now, right off the entrance, we have our first farming area. I am a big fan of creating a 9-tile dirt plot for all kinds of crops for display. I have to say that this is not the only farming area of the island, but it is one of the largest dedicated plots for the island. And of course, this farm area is complete with its own stall and gyro helper. One of my favorite things that I have made has to be this fake barn that I've included with the creation of a gazebo and many storefronts. And the man that runs this area is Henry. I did in fact change almost all of my villagers' exterior to better fit the aesthetic as well. Continuing across the bridge and past the barn, we have our very first filler area. Honestly, I like to think that my whole island is in fact a filler area. I like the cluttered aesthetic that has a natural flow to it. Plus, I really like slapping around crops and flowers everywhere. Another favorite build has to be this fielded picnic spot. This also must be a fan favorite because the video for this build has an incredible amount of views that I'm so happy for. I really can't help myself when it comes to creating fake buildings using the storefronts. They are my favorite item as well as the wheat fields. When I started planning for this theme, I ordered a ton of wheat fields each day as I was time traveling around. Unfortunately, it is one of the most laggy items in the game, so I still actually have a ton in my storage because I had to go back and replace some of them with my other items too. Finishing off the most left side of my island, we have Bruce's Bakery. This is one of the last builds that was featured in a video, so I try to keep the final look a secret so that I can have it be enjoyed for our tour video. Sometimes when I complete a build earlier on, I actually do have to go back and change them a bit as I start to fill up the areas around them. I believe this rock garden was the first build that I updated this year, but I did have to make some small changes so that it would have a better flow to everything else around it. I think the biggest change has to be the design codes. I spent so long on Pinterest searching and hunting for the perfect design codes. I believe when you join on the Dream Address, you are able to download any of the codes that I have saved and used on this island. This strip to the right of Rudy's has to be my favorite filler area. I think it just works so perfectly with its walkability and varying heights with the cliffs. Although I did find my first mistake. You would think with all the custom designs that I use, there wouldn't be any duplicate flowers, but here is one. As stated many times before, the pumpkins have to be my favorite crop in the game, so I am so happy with this sunken farm dedicated to the pumpkins. Something that I always struggled with when designing in the past was whether to have a dedicated orchard or not. Well, I thought what better theme than farmcore to have an orchard feature nearly all of the tree types, especially the fruits. Snoggy's hottest commodity has to be its jams. Now, a very important spot has to be our largest farmland on Snoggy. Surprisingly, I don't feature a ton of one crop here, but I do include a wide variety of crops that are available to grow. I thought it would be fun to have the mushrooms and coconut plants to have their own sections here as well. Our next featured market is Nana's Flowers Market. I did finally find a way to have a dedicated space for the hard work that I've put into breeding every single flower in this game. I do have some future plans for Snoggy's next theme, after farmcore of course. I could simply turn some of this around into a spring and cottagecore hybrid. I don't plan on making these changes anytime soon, but it is a thought that crosses my mind all the time. I'm sorry for just another delay in my video upload. I'm still getting used to managing my expectations for the work that I put into this channel. In all aspects of my life, be it work, hobbies, or entertainment, I tend to get lost in planning for the future. I do this so much that I get paralyzed. I hate that I do this because I tend to put so much pressure on myself while doing the things that I really love doing, like gaming. It makes it so that it no longer comes easily to me. But hey, we are coming to a new year. Although I'm not one for making resolutions, I do owe it to myself and to others, you guys actually, to do better in all aspects of my life. I think having a variety of content for a little while would be nice. I know a long time ago I did promise to get into Slime Rancher 2 at some point, so I think that that is a definite feature for the new year. Since I've been playing Animal Crossing for so long back when it came out, I have changed this island's terraforming and villagers about 1,000,000 times, and I've spent so many bells to move every single building in the past tenfold. I've moved every single one at least 6 times in its own little cycle, and planting and plopping them on the beaches. I have stated before that I don't have any conventional farmcore villagers, and I do like it this way. I have grown very attached to a lot of my villagers. I believe that I'm able to implement a bit of their style into their own yard designs by creating their own farmers markets. Snoggy's Island Tour does follow the farmcore theme with lots of crops, flower fields, and farmers markets all around. I have recently decided on this island theme and have been completing this farmcore look since the end of October. I'm just a little late into posting this for the season of the fall since I did decide to have this be the time for this completed island, but I do believe that the payoff is worth it. I think I just need a little extra time to put in the finishing touches. I know a big one has to be the beaches. That was my biggest struggle. Everything else came very naturally and easy for me, especially making these kinds of markets. I love just featuring just random things and all the nice items that this game has to offer and having their own dedicated plot and space. And I like to have my own unique touches, and so that's why I upload these videos, because I believe that there's so many people that make the museum such a big build on its own, but for me personally, I was able to dedicate it to a very small and conservative space on its own, and it really wasn't even a space, it's just a transition area that just features a bit of pumpkin items. Another tough decision with the delay of uploading this tour was me finally finishing the interior of my home. I figured that a lot of people would be interested in going inside, so I had to make sure that it was complete before anyone could see it. Here's a build that I have absolutely zero memory of making it. I truly thought that I had this backspace completely empty for a good 6 months, I would say, out of the year. And randomly one day I was taking a break from doing happy home design and I wanted to design some on my actual house here in Animal Crossing. And I come to this back room and I turned it into this perfect little precious office space that is now going to be my dream office space whenever I get my own place with me and my husband. And finishing off this home tour is probably one of the latest builds that I've done for my home. And this is a little speakeasy hidden hotel bar situation. I have no idea, but I just think that the vibes are immaculate. And something that did not have immaculate vibes for when I was making it has to be all of the beaches here on Snoggy. Let me tell you, Beach design is not my strong suit. I think it might simply be that it is the last thing that I designed for my island because I almost always had a building or a villager's home slapped on there somewhere. I think my creative juices ran out, so please don't judge the later beaches too much. I kind of did show one connected to the fielded picnic area, but I do have to feature the campsite here. I think there's a reason why I don't see a ton of videos or Pinterest pictures of campsites being on the beach because let me tell you, it is difficult to say the least. But I do enjoy the fact that I do have a little bit of a hidden entrance here from the side of the actual Snoggy entrance. Don't ask me why that there's a retro gas pump here on the beach. Somehow there's oil on Snoggy. Please don't tell the United States government. But something that I am pretty proud of is the fact that I was able to throw around these star fragments around my beach to add a little pop of color and interest to the plain beige beach. Now say that 3 times fast, folks. So I believe that there was a Captain Island that I went to long when the update came out last year, and it had the Star Fragments Island, and I was very smart and figured to hit all the rocks, and so that's how I ended up having all this rainbow star fragments. I'm not the biggest person for crafting the astrology items, but here we are. We are actually at the end, folks. If you have stayed until this point of the video, I thank you so much. I hope you have enjoyed Snoggy's farmcore island tour. You can definitely check out the dream address down below in the description. If you feel like sticking around for similar content, please subscribe. This is Beverly signing off. Bye!